So what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another video. Today is a beautiful day. It is the perfect temperature to be outside and get some projects done. Right now, we're in the garden. I think we're doing a little bit of weeding. Man, look at those fancy farm clothes.
I know, you like that?
I love them.
I always wanted to be somebody who wore a skirt in the garden. I don't know.
Well, you're doing it right now.
It's really not realistic to our life. But we got to go to church today, so I didn't want to get out of my church clothes yet. Which, that was pretty exciting to be out and about and hang out with people and feel like life is a little bit more back to normal. So now we're in the garden.
It's looking beautiful. Your lettuce.
It is. It looks
taking off. The kale, the Swiss chars coming in.
So yeah, I'm really excited about the Swiss chard because that's one of our favorites to saute up in the summer.
The kids love it too. They'll just come out and munch on it.
It was slow to start, but now it'll start to explode. We have lettuce coming out our ears. I want to figure out a way to put that at the end of the driveway in a way that, you know, I don't know, put a cooler out there with ice, I guess is probably the most realistic way.
Or maybe like a mini fridge. Mini fridge would work.
Yeah, but then
we gotta figure out power supply though. That's the only thing. But yeah, everything's coming along really good. We're still battling a little bit of this cover crop because of the whole seeds that we fed our chickens. So I get this tarp down right here, and that should kill those. And that way we don't have to just be sitting there weeding them because they're really small. It's just like a cover crop seed that, you know, it's just pretty much, it's on the top of the chip, so it's taken over a little bit. So the big things that we gotta do today is I need to move the goats into their next paddock. They did a great job. They're like in the middle of the pasture right now, and it's time to move them up a little closer to the woods. That's where I want them very soon because that is being taken over by a bunch of briars, and we gotta start working on the tree of life because, you know, just like Mother Nature, it encroaches and you always got to be working. And the goats are basically a silent employee. We want our animals to do work for us when we're not here working. One of the main things that we need to go do is check on the bees. We had some turn of events. It all happened real quickly the other day, and I want to show you guys that and what we're doing to help save the hive. These Kikos did an amazing job on their paddock, and they are ready to move. They are ready for some fresh greens. Look at the difference. Ooh, sorry there. Tripped over the little ones. Look at the difference from, okay, here's this paddock. I hope you guys can see it. Here's this paddock right now that they're on, and look at what's to come. I mean, look at these wildflowers. There's clover in there, all kinds of different types of grasses. And, you know, that's one key of, you know, rotational grazing is that they're not just eating the grass that they're pooping on and peeing. They're always getting fresh grass. Are you being attacked?
I'm trying to take goat selfies.
Goat selfies.
He's eating my hair.
They're so friendly. I'm gonna go up the mini stretch. One thing that I absolutely love about this Premier One netting system is you can put it to any shape that fits your property or your setup or your animals. Right now we have this long rectangle strip that needs to be taken care of, and like I said earlier, I mean, just a scoop, look at this. Look at the abundance of different species of grasses. I mean, we have alfalfa, there's white Dutch, clover, there's crimson clover, and we've got some daisies, we got some timothy grass. We also have some wheat from a deer food plot that I seed that I spread around here. I mean, there's also sunflowers. I threw a bunch of black sunflower seeds throughout the entire pasture. It is good to give your animals a variety of food. Yeah, they're gonna go after the sweet grasses first. I mean, just like anyone, just for like humans, you know, you would prefer a donut over fish, you know? So they're gonna attack the sweet grasses, but with the condensed area that they're in, or you're forcing them to clear the plate, you're gonna eat the sweets, but then they will eat the fish. And the fish is your weeds, your bitter grasses that you don't want to take over your field.
Good job, buddy. Okay, so the sheep are in the pen. Jeremy got the sheep in the pen. Then we had to run quickly with some more food to the goats' pen. It's tricky to separate them. They don't care whose food it is, they just want to eat. All right, we just finished moving the goats to their new part of the pasture. And now we're gonna go check the chicks out, make sure they're okay. Oh shoot, the sheep are in our yard. Whoops. Messed up somewhere. Let's go fix that first, then check the chicks. How was the
Shut it.
How was the ewe in the pen, but the lambs aren't? Oh.
Go, Wes. We are right now in the brooder, and this thing is holding up really well. We had a wicked rainstorm, and the shingles are holding up, which I'm kind of impressed with because I never did that before. But I want to give a quick update on Scissorbeak. Edward Scissors Chick. All right, hey Rem, let's not jump in. I gotta open up the door. You'll be able to. Hey, watch this. When you open the door up, you can get in nice and easy.
Voila.
All right, so you said you saw him. We gotta go watch our step. Where is he at?
Hold on, they're finding it again.
Here, go slow.
Oh, right here on this side of the water.
Okay. Right there.
Watch this up.
Let me see him. I see.
What's the other scissors say?
There's only one.
So it is a deformity, obviously, with the face. Some problems that could happen is, you know, obviously it's gonna have.
Papa,
Yeah.
what's the other scissors say?
We only have one.
Do you want to hold him?
You want to hold him now?
He needs some extra love.
Need some extra love. We gotta take care of this one because some problems that these guys could have are, you know, with drinking and eating. So we gotta make sure he's putting on weight. He is starting to get, or she is starting to get some pin feathers here. I do notice the other ones, they have a little bit more, so that does concern me.
You would think that he can eat, but he can't eat as quickly or as much as the others.
Yeah.
So he probably will be a small
Let me
bird
see. Let me get another one.
if he makes it.
Here, so this one has some nice pin feathers going on. I mean, compared to Scissor. So like Juliana said, he might be a small bird. I keep saying he because I think all birds are roosters at first. So the other thing that we need to pay attention to is that no one has a clogged vent. And basically what that is a buildup of manure on their back end because when they're chicks, oh there is? Thanks for letting me know, man. I don't want to squish them. So when they poop, it'll get stuck on their down feathers and it just becomes a buildup clogging their vent. So we gotta make sure that is taken care of. And I did see one that I need to find. Here is a clogged vent. Like I said, it's a buildup of manure on their back end. And to get it off, basically you just get it wet and gently scratch it off. You don't want to pull off any down feathers because that's how they stay warm right now. Especially if they get a little wet when they're getting a drink. So you want to keep them happy. So what I want to get into is the bees. Now I need to tell you guys a little backstory about the bees the other day before I went to go to work, I did a bee inspection. I was going to determine if I needed to add more food, take the food out, and add another super. However, when I got in there, I noticed something was a little off. This was probably the first time I, really thought, okay, what's going on here? Something's different. I really don't know what. As I started inspecting the frames, I found 11 queen cells. I am fairly new with keeping bees. I know though, there's something wrong when you have 11 queen cells.
There's 11 queen eggs?
So yeah, the other day when we had 11 queen eggs, queen cells, yeah. So I immediately called Lamar up and I was like, listen, this is what's going on. There's 11 queen cells. I know it's not good. So what do you think? So he gave me some advice. So I ended up running down to his place and I picked up a brood box and I ended up killing all the queens except for 2. Now, Lamar gave me a few options, and this was the option that I chose. Lamar has been my bee mentor, and every step of the way, I've been listening to him and doing what he says. And, one thing that he said it really got me, because I was pretty down in the dumps. I'm like, come on, this is the 4th time. You could do everything right. And this goes with everything in life. You could do everything right. The Lord has the final say. And I've been listening to his advice. He gave me a few options of what I could do, and I determined I killed all of the queen cells except for 2. I put 1 queen cell in this brood box over here, and I kept 1 queen cell in my original hive. Now the idea of this is I'm creating 2 hives now, and I'll be able to purchase another full hive and have 2, which is pretty cool. And the second thing would be is if one of these queens don't make it, either they don't hatch, they are killed on their mating flight, I have a backup. So that's what I liked about this option that I chose. I mean, he said, you could just leave it how it is, see what happens. The queens will fight. He ran through a bunch of different scenarios. This is the one I chose. I want to get in here and see what's going on, just to take a look, see if they've hatched. If not, I'll just put them back together, and I'll probably come back in a couple days. I want to know when the queen hatches, because it's going to go on its mating flight and come back. I also want to see if I could take a picture of a newly queen, a queen that hasn't been mated yet, and then see the difference when it comes back. I want to know. I want to learn, and I don't just want to look. I know I can look on Google or whatnot, but I want to learn for myself. And here we are. So I'm gonna take you guys in. Like from other bee videos, I don't have the kids around because of all my experience with getting stung. I got my suit on, I got the smoker ready. Let's see what's going on. I'm pretty excited. Right now I'm just removing the feeder. These are just mason jars that have holes in their lid, and it slowly drips out the sugar water. And then, like I said before, this hive I had 1 queen as well. So let's find it. I put her right in the middle. It should be this one, if I remember correctly. It's either this one or the one to the left. So here's a queen. So this cell is growing another queen as well. So here's the queen that I saved, and then there's another queen here that there is another larva in there. It hasn't been hatched because I see the larva. I mean, you guys aren't going to be able to tell, but as that hole right there, and down in there's a larva. I'm not gonna actually do anything today. Just wanted to get in here and see what was going on. I'm actually gonna reach out to Lamar and see what to do next. See where we're at. There's no eggs on this cell. The only eggs and larvae that I see are queens. Because this is a frame of bees right here. These colonies have good numbers, but that is going to decline because right now there's no active queen laying eggs. I definitely see no eggs and there's no larvae. They are bringing in pollen. I mean, there's honey. I mean, it's glistening. There's no dripping though. As you guys know, we are still new with bees. We are not out of the woods, but things are looking on the up. We have right now, hun, 5 queen cells in the brood box.
5. Did
5.
you have that? Did you have 5 the other day?
No, I only put 1 in the brood box and 1 in the hive. So that's still growing. They're still trying to survive. And the other hive has still 1, but it looks like it's they're building 2 more queen cells.
So then will you kill the queens?
So that's the next step I need to figure out.
How many bees?
I think we're almost at the same scenario as we were the other day, except now we have 2 hives.
Okay.
So the nuke is a new hive, and then obviously our original one. So Lamar is an active subscriber on our channel, so he watches all these videos, and so he's gonna know a little sneak peek before you guys do, because I'm gonna get on the phone with him, tell him where we're at and what's the next step. So he will get a little sneak peek before this video is released. However, he'll give me a couple scenarios to run through, and then I'll pick what I believe is the best for these hives. The goal right now is to get 2 hives. They're growing, and you know, I'm still gonna have to figure out what to do. You know, purchase a new hive. But yeah, the goal right now is to have 2 hives at the end of the season. What do you think about that? I'm pretty excited. Are you?
I mean, with as much time and effort that you put into it, it would be nice to have 2 hives worth of honey at the end of the summer.
Yeah, and Lamar said we still have plenty of time to get honey. So it's not like we're starting completely over and we're not going to get anything out of it. So that's huge.
Honey ice cream.
Ooh.
How many
On toast.
How many bees are in the brood box?
Oh, I didn't get time to count all the bees in there. That's a ton.
We'll get back in there and count them. You're not
I'll
done
get
yet
my
then.
suit back on. Well guys, I really appreciate you tuning in today. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your life to watch ours. If you guys like what you saw today, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave any comments. And please guys, hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. And we will see you guys on the next video.